Boom! Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of weird this morning. So, I'm back. Vlogoween day 3. Day 3? Day 4. I'm back. I don't even know where this series is going anymore, guys. I don't know where it's going anymore. I'm just like, you know what? I don't even know what I made a list. I'll tell you what I did. I made a list of 31 spooky things, or things that were related to... I'm cold. It's cold in here. I made a list of 31 things that, like, I could talk about. And right away, I'm like, it's not going to work. Crazy. So, yeah. But here's where it starts to get interesting. That's my papas. Yes, you. Hi. Here's where it gets interesting. Alright. So, and I don't know. I don't know how I want to do this. It's like, my mother was a huge fan of serial killers and true crime. So, when the Ultimate Evil happened, Son of Sam happened, she was, into that case. And then the book, The Ultimate Evil, came out. Well, the book, there's connections to Minot and Bismark, and supposedly there was a cult in Bismark. I actually knew the Perry family. Arliss Perry was one of the first people murdered, I believe, in California. I'm not quite sure how she was connected to the people that I knew, but I knew the Perrys that were from Bismarck or in Bismarck. So I knew the family, and they're really, I was young. I was really young. But there really were, and still are, like, dogs that go missing. Down by my friend Casey's house. People lose their pet. Their dogs disappear a lot. Still. So I don't know if it's one person or a bunch of people, but the Ultimate Evil kind of like, said there was a cult and all this stuff, and kind of talked about where they met and everything. And I'm sure that every city has, their satanic cults or whatever you want to call them. It's hard because I want to be like, I have a respect for everybody. Everyone. So, what you do is what you do. And I guess, looking back on it now, I mean, when I was younger, that was the cool thing. I really got into witchcraft and all that stuff, and it was the cool thing. I don't know. I guess maybe that's where things started to happen, where the doors started to open. I don't know. I started reading Ed and Lorraine Warren's books way back then. I was reading their books. So I was already freaking myself out with ghost stories, and Annabelle scared me to death back then. So yeah, and then I myself never, saw anything that was spooky, scary, weird. We did one time when we were down where these people were supposed to be doing their rituals, the caves that are underneath the University of Mary, I believe. There's caves down there. And the one time we tried to find the caves, we did get followed by a car. like this car followed us and like scared the crap out of us, so we never went back. Like it was like, you know, coming up and getting right on our bumper and just freaking us out, so I'm sure that was just a bunch of kids being stupid. But yeah, Mom was really into it, and she, I believe it was right after Richard Ramirez, right after the Night Stalker case. So, I don't know, I was just, I got really into that. I read all the books I could, and I was really into ghost hunting and spooky stuff, and back then you didn't really have the ghost hunting stuff that you could do, but I mean, yeah. But I met a boy who was, you know, a supposed Satanist, and we used to play with the Ouija board all the time, and I didn't really believe in that stuff, and then things started to happen. My boyfriend at the time moved into a house that I didn't know, I had no idea, I didn't know that the guy had committed suicide in the basement. I didn't know that. But that basement was like, it was creepy. The house was creepy. Lights would turn off and on. There would be knocking noises, and I would blame my boyfriend. I was like, you know, this isn't funny. Turn the light back on. Like, he wasn't touching the light. He wasn't near the light, so how could you know, but, sorry. My horns are weird. You know, and we used to play with the Ouija board all the time, and yeah, so things were weird, and it just, everything kind of snowballed from there, I believe. And this is something that kind of followed, I think it was him and not me. Most of the stuff when he was around would happen. So, you know, the haunted trailer my friend lived in, my friend Kat, her haunted trailer was basically all the things happened to the boyfriend in that trailer. The stuff that happened to me in that trailer, he was there for. So I don't know if it was him or if it was what it was. He came to live with me, and my husband was his best friend. Like my ex, he was my ex, but he was also still my husband's best friend, and he was still my friend. And I couldn't really let go of that. Like, I still was majorly in love with him, and I couldn't let go, and I don't even know why I married his best friend. Guys, don't do that. Don't rebound with the best friend, and don't marry the best friend. It just doesn't go well. I don't know, it may go well for some people, and that's great, that's awesome, but for me it didn't go well. But things would happen anytime he was around, so like, I had a clock on top of my dresser that flew off the dresser. We were playing games, and I was going to drink from the bottle, and I went to grab the bottle, and the bottle flew off the table, and he was sitting, like, right there, so the bottle was between the two of us, and it, like, flew off the table. Just subtle things with him in the house, like, my sister didn't believe me. I'm like, we have a ghost, and she was like, no you don't. I'm like, we do, and she's like, no you don't, and then as she said that, one of the coats that was hanging on the wall fell off the wall. Apparently my nephew, my 6, 7, 8-year-old nephew at the time, actually told his mom that he felt like somebody was in the basement with him, and he was scared to be alone in the house, or alone in the basement. And I wouldn't doubt that, because some of the things that were going on were creepy. You know, I mean, but it wasn't like There was no apparitions. There was no horribly scary things that were happening. I'm losing my horns, aren't I? I feel like I'm losing my horns. Ah! Alright. Maybe it's just the back is coming up. That could be. I thought I would let's talk about demons, so I'm gonna be horny. I mean, I'm gonna wear my horns. So yeah, that's kind of all where it began. You know, my other friend who was heavily into it, supposedly he had stuff happening to him all the time, and was, I don't know, and who knows, they could have been on drugs, they could have been, I don't know, but I feel guilty, kinda, because I do feel like we opened a door, and we never closed it, and now apparently, the house next door to my ex-boyfriend's, where he originally lived, where the guy committed suicide, apparently that place is really haunted and active. One of the houses next to that place is really haunted. And that girl was trying to contact, Ghost Adventures to get them to come out and check out the house because she was having really bad problems in this house. Well, that house was next door to the one that my boyfriend had lived in. You know, and I don't know what those guys have done. I don't know what they did. I wasn't involved in anything, but I don't know. I mean, we did use the Ouija board a lot, and we didn't know what we were doing. So, I don't know. Just be careful, guys. I guess the moral of the story is, be careful with what you're doing. Maybe you should know more about what you're doing. It's not just a game. It's not all fun and games. And, yeah. Rambly, huh? Random and rambly for day number 3. 4. I don't know. Yeah. So, that was the beginning. That's where it all began. But, good morning. I've got my coffee. I'm already tired and ready to go back to bed. I got the boy off to school. And what I like now is that I can hop on the internet and be like, alright, I remember some of this case and I remember some of these stories, but I don't remember all of it, and so I'm pretty sure, if I talk about it, I don't know. But yeah, to this day, there are dogs that still go missing down there, down by the tunnel, or the cave, down by St. Mary's. There'll be random fires out there today. We always used to tease each other, oh look, there's a fire, let's go check it out. No. I'm sure it was just hunters, people messing around, but you don't know. I didn't know, so. And I think we just freaked ourselves out more than anything. I haven't really seen anything horribly spooky, so. Yeah, I was like, I didn't even know if I was going to talk about this, because I'm like, it's so random. It doesn't have any connection, but I'm like, well, I guess this is where the door kind of opened, where I was really into wanting to get into witchcraft and wanting to see and hear, do spooky things, and just, kids, being a kid, and trying to be different, and I don't know. It was weird. It was weird times. So, alright. I'm gonna go do some Sims, I don't know. Pass out, go watch AHS Apocalypse. There you go, see? More spooky haunted thing. I'm gonna go watch Apocalypse. Hang out. Enjoy my Friday. It's been a long week, so hope everybody is well. It's Vlogoween. I suppose I could look at my paper and be like, what did I do? 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4. We are at, no. We are on 4. Yeah. I don't know. I'm losing track already. Okay. Goodbye, guys. If you have any comments on anything that's spooky or scary, or, you know, your own stories, or your own connections, or whatever. If you're into serial killers, or spooky stories, or cults, or whatever, drop me a comment and let me know what's going on. Like my videos. And I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.